The American presidents were people like you and like me, or at least that's how the founders intended them to be. I'm Teddy Ebby, and welcome back to my segment where I'm talking about the US presidents' nicknames. We recently talked about John Adams and his positive nicknames, but such a prickly man, well, he had quite a dozen negative nicknames. So today we're going to cover the three most popular. One of the earliest satirical jabs against our second president came from his political opponents in the 1790s. If you lived during the era of his presidency and you wanted to insult John Adams, you would call him his rotundity. This was definitely in part because of John Adams' short and stocky stature and, well, being rather on the heftier side for his time, but also his political inclinations.
Sit down, John, you fat mother!
You see, during the early days of the executive branch, as titles were being figured out and certain aspects of the presidency were being written down, John Adams proposed that there should be a greater title for the head exec of the United States other than President of the United States. John Adams and those allied with him proposed the idea of the true name of the executive being His Majesty, the President of the United States. This, in combination with his desire to have the president referred to as His Highness, gave his political opponents, the Jeffersonians and Republicans at that time, ammunition to paint him as kind of out of touch with traditional American values. So as President, John kind of brought this on himself by giving his political opponents ammunition not only in his weight category, but his pompous puffery. This kind of folds on into number 2, where he was called the monarchist. As the new nation was coming together and became more politically recognizable to the governmental structure that we know today, John Adams rather rigorously defended British constitutionalism. Jeffersonian Republicans and revolutionaries of all shapes and sizes saw Adams' defense of the British form of government when the British had just been defeated in the Revolutionary War as a massive betrayal. Adams' critics twisted his desire to have an upper house in the legislature that would supposedly counter mobocracy or mob rule into the idea that Adams secretly wanted an American president. And this issue would dog him throughout his tenure.
They want to make that man the king of America.
And finally, for all his political strategy and his contributions to winning the Revolutionary War on the diplomacy side, Adams would still be mocked as the blunderer. When it came to his diplomatic efforts after the Revolutionary War, Adams was unfortunately ham-fisted. With the XYZ affair and the passage of the Alien and Sedition Acts, Adams made a great number of enemies, both foreign and domestic. In fact, he just barely avoided a war with France, a nation that had helped us win the Revolutionary War not a decade before. Even in his own correspondence, Adams admitted that he himself didn't believe he was a smooth political operator. His bluntness often made unnecessary enemies. So there you have it. Adams' penchant to become prickly, pompous, and paranoid during his presidency gave his political enemies some serious ammunition to come up with some banger nicknames for him. I'm Teddy Ebby. Those are both the positive and negative nicknames for the second president of the United States. Join me next time when we talk about number 3, Thomas Jefferson.